What up, athletes? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're on Mandela Avenue outside of the Botanical Gardens, and we want to take a look at what has happened to this road that they've been working on. It should be completed by now. Sheriff Street. This is where Sheriff Street becomes Mandela Avenue, and we're heading towards Sheriff Street. So stay tuned. So this is where Sheriff Street begins. Somebody's put up a mansion here. This is the end of Mandela Avenue. You can see that's the Orchid Gardens Hotel and Shopping Plaza. And now we're on to Sheriff Street. First thing you're going to see is that there's some tall buildings that they've been here since the last time we were here. But for example, that one poking up above the roofs in Bel-air Park is actually on Duncan Street, and that wasn't there the last time we were here. We'll take a closer look at it. We have that's Bel-air Park on the left, and on this side this is also Section K Campbellville on the right hand side. So let's take a walk along Sheriff Street and see how it has changed. So they have completed the pavement, that is the tarmac, the surface of the road. Last time we visited, these concrete blocks that cover the drains had not yet been completed, and clearly they're going to leave them the way they are. Apparently they're not going to cover them and make them smooth, so they remain a trip hazard. Oh, we're passing Statue. Right, this is Sheriff Street, and it seems as if some of these homes have gotten a little bit of TLC. This one at the corner here has been built over. And that's a new house. It's well, new in terms of a couple of years, but it wasn't that way before. This one is down now. Down now Street in Section K, Campbellville, and across is the park. Right at the end of this street is the park in Bel-air Park. And this tall building that is now green or aquamarine has been here, has been there. I think it's a commercial building, and they painted it recently. This is Kanji Street, and the building at the corner of Kanji, this is a new building. In fact, they've not even finished constructing it yet. So this is the 3.5, 4-story building on Kanji Street. That's still under construction. So that's new to Sheriff Street. And that tall building is about a 4 floors or 5 floors, depending on how you count it. That's on Duncan Street. this intersection with the traffic light, that's Duncan Street. This is Bonasika intersection K, Campbellville, Bonasika Street. Somebody has renewed these street signs because they weren't there the last time I was here. Right, that's Bonasika Street. And that's the new, what, 4-floor building on Sheriff Street. Bonasika Street intersection K. It's an empty lot. Pretty sure somebody's probably going to build on that soon. And five, depending on if you count the top floor. This one is Aquilini Street. Oh, Euro Research, American University of Peace Studies. American University of Peace Studies here. That's kind of new. Didn't realize. That's one of the growth industries in Guyana. Lots of private universities and schools. Much needed, but we don't know yet about the quality and the whether or not they're accredited. This is bananas growing on the side of the road. This is Duncan Street. It's a new building on Duncan Street. And this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is one of the tall buildings on Duncan Street. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. 4 floors, but they're quite tall. And then on this side, there's another tall building behind there. Another 4 or 5 floors. So this is what's happening here, guys. A lot of new construction and renovation going up on Sheriff Street. The road signs have been painted. 2 miles. Duration. Yes, like I said, the road markings have been painted. This one is William Street in Campbellville. That's the new, well, I don't know how new it is, but it's a tall building that has been recently renovated since the last time we were here, about a year ago. It's Sunday morning in Georgetown, and this is like the eastern center of the city. It's becoming kind of commercial district, the second commercial district that is about 2 miles east of downtown. Yeah, Fitness Express, looking back on Sheriff Street. So this is, let me see, I would compare this to Sunrise Highway on Long Island in Queens. So this is kind of the strip, kind of the strip mall section of the city. Right, it's also similar to, let's say, Queens Boulevard. Right, so you have this strip where it's not downtown, but you have a long line of businesses and residential homes. And so this is what's happening here on Sheriff Street. It's becoming, oh, okay, so that's an older building that has been renovated to look new. This one is also kind of recently reconditioned furniture store. Georgetown is over here. Medical supplies company or store. This one has not yet been renovated, but this used to be, or probably still is, a store. Now you have toys, or these pictures of them on the outside. Drivers wanted. So this is in fact, oh, it is a driver's store. It's open here on Sunday morning. Take advantage of these new signs. Craig Street. So that's Craig Street in Campbellville, Section K, Campbellville. Yeah, like I'm saying, this is about the equivalent of Queens Boulevard in New York City. It's the equivalent of the Sunrise Highway, you know, on Long Island as you enter Queens. So it's kind of a long line of commercial and residential buildings and kind of a commercial center. It's becoming a commercial strip, but it's also a bypass. It's quite busy because it's one of those streets that can let you bypass the city center, bypass Georgetown. So if you're coming off the East Coast headed say towards the airport or to Linden, and you don't want to get caught up in city traffic, then this is where you come. This is Royal Castle. They now have a drive-through. And so Sheriff Street is now the bypass for traffic coming off the East Coast and heading towards the East Bank, that is towards the Timeri Airport. And so it's kind of a way to keep heavy traffic that has no business in Georgetown, keep that traffic off of the city streets. Now they can go directly to Mandela Avenue. Sheriff Street turns into Mandela Avenue, which has been rebuilt. We're going to take a look at that later. And then they can go directly into the Georgetown Bypass Highway that runs parallel to the East Bank Road and starts at that roundabout on the back road. So we'll take a look at that too. I think they're calling that back road St. Road. I guess it's a continuation of the St. Road through 7th Road. So that's what's happening here, guys. Sheriff Street has been completed. There's still some open drains. This is Drury Lane. Drury Lane at Sheriff Street. Now there are a couple of buildings coming up here that have been under construction for quite a while. This is one of them. So these buildings have been under construction for about 5 years, and I understand that now they're going to be sold. At least the builders now looking for a buyer for one or two of these buildings. But these are all commercial buildings now that were built on top of residential buildings. So a lot of the residential space is getting converted into commercial space. This is Agman's, and then Aurora South Food. Melbourne Inn Hotel. These are kind of new. Anyway, so this is one of the buildings that's been under construction for about 10 years, I believe. That one, the frame has been up there for about 5 years. This one is kind of renovated in the last year or so. With the facade on an old residential building. This is new. Dolce Bar Bistro. And now we're in Campbellville, 2nd Street. Campbellville, when we cross over Drury Lane, we're in Campbellville. 2nd Street, Campbellville. So, the problem I have with the road markings is that they are not consistent and predictable. So you have all of these weaving lines. So it seems as if instead of building the road surface to accommodate, say, a turning lane, they just drew lines onto the surface of the road that are weaving back and forth along the surface in a way that doesn't really make sense for EV driving. So if you're driving on the surface, it seems as if you're just weaving back and forth on the surface of the road. If you're following the lines, it used to be that it was one consistent dividing line in the center, and you could in fact follow that line driving straight instead of weaving back and forth to follow the changing shape of the lanes. And that is in fact inconsistent. You can see it there. It's inconsistent and in fact quite dangerous, because if you're driving on the road surface, it just appears as if people are being unpredictable. You can't keep your head up, you have to watch the surface, watch down at the surface of the road. And that's not a good thing. That's OMG Awak Steakhouse. This is another renovated building. And another renovated building. What I'm looking for is tall structure. So these buildings, flanges and so on, and that concrete structure behind, that building has been a construction for the past 15 years, and I understand that they're looking for a buyer. Well, this is 4th Street. They're looking for a buyer because they're not going to complete construction themselves. But yeah, this is what I mean. The markings on the road just weaving back and forth. So if you're a cyclist, for example, this is the line you follow. It's just a bicycle lane. It weaves all the way out here because they put out bus only sign in the middle of the bicycle lane. It would have made sense to simply run the bicycle lane completely on the outside of this driving traffic lane, so these street lights form a natural barrier and it's closer and beside the pedestrian sidewalk. So it doesn't really make any sense. So you have all of this road surface that I'm walking on right now that is neither bicycle lane nor vehicular traffic lane, but it's also not the sidewalk. Alright, this is 5th Street. So this is the building I was talking about. Apparently somebody probably bought it. It was under construction for about 15 years here on 5th Street, and now they've resumed construction. It seems as if they've painted it and put on balconies since the last time I was here. So it seems as if it's going to be some kind of a condominium or maybe hotel. So that's what's happening here, guys, on Sheriff Street. This is also a commercial building. This one was here, but I think the last time we filmed this building had a different set of colors. They've changed the color. Some of the orange is still here, but they've changed most of it to white and probably turned it into a commercial building. So this initially appeared to be a kind of gated residential building, but now it seems as if it's become a commercial building. So that's what's happening here, guys. A lot of minibuses. So it seems as if it's a transportation company. With the number 41 minibuses in the parking lot. And there's cancer awareness sign on the front of the building. So this seems to be a rental building now being rented by commercial, by a operator, transportation operator. This is Redeemer Lutheran Church. Sunday morning, and so they are actually open. This morning they're open for Sunday service. This is Pike Street. Pike Street in Campbellville on the other side. Pike Street goes all the way out to Kitty. And in fact, if you go north of Campbellville, it becomes Kitty on the western side of the street. For sale, rent, a number of buses there, so that's also becoming commercial property. There's a transportation company. That's Sandcars Auto Color. There's a Waffle House Diner on this side. Right. Dave and Danny's Waffle House. Ray's Motor Spares. And this is Mario's Juice Bar. So this is now also commercial. Mario's Juice Bar over here. This also is being renovated to become another, most likely, commercial space. It used to be a residential building. And on this side, that's the Guy Oil service station. It's basically a government operated gas station. A government owned gas station. Cash and carry. This is John Smith Street. John Smith Street, Campbellville, and here we have a roundabout. Cash and carry, commercial, and on this side you have the Guy Oil. So this is another roundabout. And so Campbellville, north of Campbellville, becomes Blegazite Gardens. Blegazite. I don't know if that's a Dutch or German. It seems Dutch. Those of you who know the origins of that, you can leave me a comment below. This is the misshapen traffic circle here at Sheriff Street. So it's meant to connect traffic coming off of the train line road. So this used to be a train line, right? This road used to be where the old train line went up the coast. Now it's called Line Top Road or Train Line Road. And that's where the train line continued. So straight across this traffic circle, the train line continued in that direction. But then a number of roads, including this one and Sheriff Street South, Sheriff Street North, intersected at some weird angles here, and so they built this misshapen traffic circle. Don't know if it's the best solution, but that's what's happening here. And at least I think it should reduce the accidents, the number of accidents that normally happen here on Sheriff Street. But it's usually difficult to cross if you are a pedestrian, because you have fast moving traffic coming in several directions, from several directions. This is Sheriff Medical Center. Don't know who owns this, but it's a commercial property that is now being used as a kind of to provide ambulance service and pharmacy services and testing, COVID-19 PCR tests, and so on. So this is the medical building, and I'm not certain that it is public or private, but it is. I'm not certain if it's public or private. Might be. Oh, and they have laboratory services, tooth implants, braces, probably manufactured here. Sheriff Medical Center, these are their ambulances. Yeah, I'm not certain if they're being contracted to provide these services by the government, but there's certainly an ambulance brigade, a fleet of ambulances that respond to emergencies from this location. I'm just not sure if it's private. Could be private, but under contract with the government, and therefore probably receiving these 911 medical calls through a government agency. That's what's happening, guys. For those of you who are interested in getting into the medical space, it's wide open in Guyana, because a lot of the medical services are provided by government, public institutions that are not doing a good job of it. And so there is a need, definitely a need for better medical care, medical services. Here's a cow ambling along the sidewalk. I'm pretty sure you don't see this in Queens. 3rd Avenue. But like I said, this is the equivalent of Queens Boulevard. He's going into the field to join his...
Distance 3 miles.
Okay, so let's continue. This is Mima Decor. This used to be another Lenses. Probably changed names and changed ownership. But like I was saying, the medical industry is wide open because government services are not up to standard, and there's absolute need for total re-envisioning of medical care in Guyana. I have a couple of medical companies that I'm working on. So if you're also interested in the medical field and medical services, you're welcome. And what is important is coming up with business models that will benefit this country, as well as provide services to international communities, people who are willing to travel for health care, medical, dental care, specialized care, and so on. So I'm also in that field and would welcome interested partnerships. That's it, guys. This is what's happening here on Sheriff Street in Georgetown, Guyana, on Sunday morning, Sunday the 4th of December S12.E25. You can see the road surface has been completed, but the road markings are all weird and windy, oscillating back and forth on the surface. So I would hate to drive on Cherry Street because, like I said, if you're following the road markings, you'll find yourself just weaving back and forth along the surface. It's really poorly planned and poorly executed, but that's where we are now. I hope this is just a, one iteration in the development, and eventually somebody comes after and builds a better road network that is much more predictable and safer. But that's it, guys. This new building is almost completed. This is Bel-air Gardens. So Bel-air Park is the other end. This section of this is called Bel-air Gardens. On this side, here is Rupert Craig Highway. So this runs all along the east coast for several miles, 10 or 15 miles or so. And that's the seawall. You've seen this before. That's it, guys. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about development here in Cherry Street, Georgetown, Guyana. Share this video with friends and family. Let people know what's happening in Guyana. Later!